Greetings, welcome. It's an all-you-can-geek Gamecast. No Jim tonight, so I'll be your host, Corey Feinsod, and with me is Tony Korkanakis
Yo!
and Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Hey everyone, we are live on Twitch, 8 o'clock for the movie cast, and around now-ish, 8:30, 8:40 for the Gamecast. Check us out if you can, and leave us a comment, join the conversation. We are always eager to, communicate with you guys and participate. So, Gamecast, everybody, what have we been up to? Mike, why don't you kick us off? What have you been playing, or have you finished anything?
Still not finished with Pirate Coup.
Wow.
Still
Okay.
playing.
Okay. It's
I
a
mean,
longer game than we expect. I remember you saying it's probably going to be a 15-hour game. You've already what, put 30 plus hours into this thing?
30 hours. Now, I definitely could have been done with it if I wanted to, but I kind of want to do the more piratey side activities at least and a couple side stories before I finish up. These games are good though, where you have the premium adventure mode where you can always just pick up any missed side stuff afterwards, but I feel like especially with other games on the horizon in my eye. Like I won't do that this time once I finish the story. So I do kind of want to get my side stuff done before I finish the story. Still, as a result, it means I'm playing longer. It's 30 plus hours, but it's good. It's you know, it's what I'm
Or
used to.
Yakuza? Yeah.
And I'm still splitting it with Marvel Rivals, of course. Nothing new there. They did do an update, I guess, recently, but it wasn't not a whole lot happened with it really.
Fair enough. Tony, how about you? What have you been playing?
Just hunting some monsters
Oh,
in the
okay.
wild.
Bill Hunting. How's it
Yeah.
going?
Pretty good. I think I'm towards finishing up the story slash campaign, whatever you want to call it. To get a low rank. Because when you beat low rank is when you unlock the uh, monsters that aren't wearing the gloves, so to speak. Because I know
Mm,
we were talking about that last week.
yeah.
Um, but really, that's pretty much how all the monsters have been. Is like, oh no, you're such a tough hunter. Don't hurt me and stuff like that. Where, as soon as you get out of this mode, apparently it's like, all right, real shit time. It's like, oh, okay. Um, the story is whatever. It's okay. Again, talk to other friends about it, and they're like, yeah, this has a lot of story for some reason, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess is an appeal. According to Capcom, revealed something today where they said that the story was a good
Addition to the
addition and
game.
like made people jump in, which great if
Okay.
it's getting the new players because that's the point where you want
Right.
new people to join in. But yeah, I'm loving the moment to moment gameplay when you're fighting a monster is just so fucking good. Like, feels awesome. The monsters all are like super diverse, have really good move sets. It does feel like, oh, these monsters fight in different ways, where it's not like, not to bash like Elden Ring or something, where it's like, oh, this is one of these types of bosses, and it's like kind of like, all right, he has a pole
Do the
arm instead
same
of
thing
right
every
sword,
time.
right. It's the same thing, and that's it's not a fair comparison because open world games you need to repeat certain things so that you're guaranteeing that the player will encounter at least one of those types of bosses in their playthrough versus this guided mode where it's like, hey, we want you to hit a dozen bosses because that's how you beat the game. You need to defeat a
Right.
dozen unique
And there's a
bosses.
progression there. This boss is going to do this,
Yes,
which teaches you this thing, and then you're
right,
going to use that in the next boss and learn a new thing. Yeah.
right, exactly. So it's really cool. It's really rewarding. Can't wait to start doing the tougher hunts because unfortunately it is one of those things now where I'm like, I've mastered the well not mastered, but I'm pretty proficient in my weapon now where um, I can obliterate the bosses without like I'm not even like refighting bosses anymore to like farm for items because I'm just like let me just get through the low rank story mode so I can get to the higher tier weapons and stuff now because it just feels like I'm picking on them honestly. Like the
Mm.
one day like I just straight up obliterated this monster. I was like, oh, you didn't even hit me really. Like I didn't even use one health potion. Like you're pathetic. It's like just get out of here, man. And I'm like carving up its corpse. I was like, man, you're weak. It's like, yep, got your plate, got your skin, got your fang, and I'm out of here, deuce. But yeah, it's really fun. Probably 20 hours in around
Oh,
that mark.
okay.
So
That's good.
yeah,
And that's it then. Just been focused on Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter, Fortnite, Little Marvel
God.
Rivals. There's they just started another promotional event where it's like a mini. I say board game. It's really just you earn credits to roll a die and you move X amount of spots. But it's kind of cool because like every spot has something on it, so it's like I'm actually wanting to roll low because I'm like, oh, that's like 10
Oh, because
credits
you
here,
want to,
10
yeah,
credits
you don't.
there, right? I'm like, I want everything on this track. Like the one day I rolled a 3, I was like, no, like I'm skipping over the things, like get back there. But at the end, you get I think a or Black Widow. What is it?
It's
Black Widow
Widowmaker.
skin, which is really cool. I'm like, oh, look at that! Like they're giving away a decent amount of free skins, so I think that's
Mhm.
always cool. Where it's
And
like,
keeps people coming back.
yeah,
That's cool.
exactly, and that's what you want at the beginning of a games as a service
Yeah.
type game. Towards the end of the battle pass too, I think I have like 2 pages left, even though it's gonna be like 2,000 purple, whatever
Hmm.
fucking currency it is. Um, I don't really care for the new characters that much. Human Torch and Thing. Like I,
No,
That's too bad.
they're not
yeah,
that great after further review. Especially George, he just can't get out of the way enough. Doesn't do enough damage to justify his existence where he's so squishy and in the air.
I
It's not
like
great.
He's,
I like when I have his ult, and that's it. If I have his ult, I'm
mhm.
like, hell yeah, I'm strong as shit. And if I don't have his ult, I'm like, don't hurt me, ult get me, just run away.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. I'm playing Monster Hunter as well. Just going slowly through it. Again, like story mode. Not that I don't care, but I don't care. Like I don't really care. I almost tune out when story stuff's going on because that's not the highlight of this game
hmm
at all. And so I appreciate that they put it in for people that want something like that. But I also feel like when I was hearing about Monster Hunter, what I was
yeah,
expecting from Monster Hunter
yeah,
is completely different than what we're getting with this game.
yeah,
And I know they said that they're trying to bring people in, and it worked for me,
yeah.
obviously, because I'm playing it. But yeah, what I thought was going to be the game is not what it is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all, because I'm still getting those monster hunts, like you're saying, and it is interesting. Some of the characters are fun, but again, it's not. I'm not like, oh, what's gonna happen to this kid? And like, we're gonna find like,
Fuck that
of
kid,
course we're
man.
gonna.
Fuck
No,
that kid.
I'm just saying, like, of course everything's gonna work out, and we're gonna find the thing
Yeah.
that kills his friends in this village, whatever. It's all gonna work out in the end. So it's not like there's a mystery that I'm excited to explore or anything like that, which Mike
How
alluded to in the movie cast. It's like you
how
gotta have a good mystery.
how far are you in the story then? Like, what was the
Oh,
last
I'm not far.
what's the last boss you
Not
fought
far.
or monster?
Um, I fought a spider
Okay,
fairly
so yeah, all
recently,
right.
so I'm very early.
Okay,
Very early in
yeah.
the game.
I
But I
will
got
say,
lost because I was like, I hate how these things, the chocobos, just like run to everything you need to do. So like, I gotta turn it off. I want to explore more, and then I got lost. I'm like, how do I get back? I was like, where am
but
I?
see, that's exactly why they introduced it. Like, and it's, in a way, it's kind of spoiled me because I'm like, yeah, I could learn the ecology, could learn the
Yeah,
terrain, or I could just press up on the D-pad and have my chocobo just fucking run over there by
yeah.
itself.
No, I
Um,
was like, no, I want to explore, and I'm like, wait, why am I climbing up this tree? And then it's like this whole like other level of this world that I didn't know about, and I'm like, what? Where am I? And so it took
yeah,
me a
it's
little bit to figure out.
it's interesting because depending on how the games as a service, like the updates go, I might actually go back and play Rise because if anything, because Rise didn't have that. Like Rise is like you have to learn like where to go. You have to learn the
Hmm.
monster patterns and stuff. Like you have to chase them down there. Like it's straight up like if you linger too much, they'll move around the map even more. So
Mm.
you're like shit. And you're time like I don't know if you know this, Corey. Like missions are timed. You have like I think 50 minutes to kill
Okay.
the monster. So like I remember my first Monster Hunter on Wii U or whatever. Like I failed one of the first missions because like I didn't beat it in
Enough
the
time.
timer or something
Oh.
like that. And I was like, oh, I was like, well, fuck me. I guess I get to do this again. But yeah, you have a timer, and I haven't come close at all once.
Yeah,
Even just like farming like rocks and ore and shit. I'm just like,
right.
oh, I don't care about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I only think I knew about that, other than the fact that it says, "Oh, you can end the mission ends in 10 seconds." I'm like, "Oh, okay." It's
Yeah,
like
it's like,
after you beat the monster, doesn't matter to me. I already killed him. So yeah. And then I'm still playing Supervive. That game is a lot of fun. Even though like no
nobody
one's
else
really,
is. Yeah,
I just wish it was more popular, but it's still great. They added a new character just like a couple weeks ago, so they're still supporting it, but
yeah, that's good.
community is just not as robust as some of these other
Yeah,
uh, games as a service games. So
And Churro chimed in. I feel like there is a solid split with people like that. You either think, wow, this is the best Monster Hunter story, or like skip, 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 find a monster to kill, or you let auto control go and text on your phone.
yeah,
You
there's
just
no
wanna-
middle ground.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, like, I'm glad you can skip the cutscenes. I just wish
Mm.
you could skip the. My biggest pet peeve in AAA gaming for the past 10 years is like the slow, forced walk and talk. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, it's got to load the area too, man. That's
I
what's
hate, I
hiding.
hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Just get rid
It's
of it.
because when Half-Life 2 did that, everyone's like, "Oh, this is revolutionary. It's the gameplay and story." But really, it's not. But
An
everyone,
elevator. You're going in an elevator and letting the level load, Mass Effect style.
and also, like I know obviously a couple Monster Hunter fans, but I've read some reviews. I haven't heard anyone like the story so far.
Well,
There,
I can
yeah, they're not there for the story.
there is one thing actually that recently happened, and again, I'm at the end of the story. I think I only have two bosses left. There was something that was like, oh, that's kind of interesting actually, where it made me think about the entire franchise a little differently. But at the end of the day, I really don't care. It's like, look, I just like you don't even need to give me a reason to kill these monsters. In fact, you could go as far to say is like, hey, if you kill these monsters, you're a bad person because they're an endangered species. I'd be like, yeah, but they're made of meat and have sharp claws and teeth.
And I need
Like,
their plate for my
yeah,
upgrade.
I'd be like that to me actually would be an interesting story. It's like you're
Mhm.
like a poacher or something like that. It's like, you know, you have to like not get caught by you know, the
And plot twists. They
yeah.
were all you were the good guy all
Yeah, you're
along,
the
and
good
they
guy
were
all along, right? Exactly.
destroying the
There you go, Capcom. We
ecosystem.
wrote the next story for you. Give us some fucking money.
All right, so let's get into some gaming news, everybody, because there's a little bit. It's a little bit of news. We talked about games, uh, anime, and sports combining forces in the movie cast. Well, that's happening somewhat with baseball and Fortnite, because Fortnite's in everything. So
And
Fortnite's
everything is in
collaborating with.
Fortnite.
Yes, it goes both ways.
Goes both ways.
But Shohei Ohtani, the baseball player who's on the Dodgers now, is going to be a playable, like a skin, I guess, in the
Yeah.
Fortnite game. So, do you know if there's gonna be like special abilities with him? Some like how the Marvel characters and Star Wars characters are changed up a little bit. I mean, it seems like
Um.
he's got a bat, but
Yeah. So I mean, basically, all the
move.
characters. The only thing that would change is cosmetics or like special effects. So like, for example, I think Darth Vader, when you do the Imperial March, you'll hear his breathing
Theme.
effect.
Oh, yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Whereas other characters you won't. But so far they haven't revealed anything about a special effect or anything. Depending on the collab, it could be different. Like we just had the Miku and Godzilla ones. Godzilla was actually like an enemy in the game. Like everybody could shoot him and stuff like that. Miku, she's like the festival character. So like you can go play Miku songs in the rock band type mode. It's too early to say because I think it was literally announced today or yesterday.
Yeah, I just saw it
Past
today.
24 hours.
Mhm.
So there might be a gimmick or anything like that. Some people are speculating they could introduce a version of his baseball bat because in the current season there is a baseball bat. So people are speculating they might like make a special version. And it's like goes like
For
Otani's
sure.
bat or something like that, where
Mhm.
maybe it'll do more damage. Maybe it'll have sound because like one of the things is when they did OG season, they had Eminem as a character collab in person in the game, and he had this minigun that when you fired it off, it had the special effects of him rapping. Like instead of hearing like the, it would be like him just rapping. And it was kind of cool. It was like, oh, like that's an interesting, unique way of do a minigun sound effect. So it might be for him. They just teased him today, so we'll see. But I think it's pretty cool. And he has an alternate skin with him in a samurai outfit. Obviously, he's from Japan. But yeah, should be pretty cool because I think they have some representation from other sports. I'm not 100% positive.
Well, I think they had some basketball stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
some basketball. I was like, because he's definitely the first baseball player. I'm not sure if football is in Fortnite,
Possibly.
but not to look.
Mike, what do you think of this?
He hates the Dodgers.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Would you want to see Judge in the game?
No, I want to see Judge working on not getting hurt and catching fly balls.
Do your job, Judge. Play
Do
the
your
game of
job.
baseball.
I don't
All
want
right.
him With this nonsense.
Yeah, don't get into those, suits and whatever. My gosh, mocap suits, whatever they are. But
Yeah.
any case, well, moving on. We did talk about Monster Hunter Wilds just before. We've been playing it. Monster Hunter Wilds enjoyed a great launch in the U.S. market. This is from Matt Piscatella, the guy who does all the numbers. What's the site that
Circana.
Circana? Yeah. So he posted on Blue Sky. Nice, nice,
He's on Blue Sky only.
nice link there, Tony. We have launch week dollar sales were the largest for a title since the debut of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 last October. It ranked first in weekly sales across PC, PS5, and Xbox. PC was the lead platform. So that's great for Monster Hunter Wilds and for the future of Monster Hunter in general.
Did we
So
talk
good for
about
them.
last week was the PR from Capcom, right? 8 million. Did we
Yes.
cover that? Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, no, great to see because again, this is another franchise kind of like Yakuza, where it was like previously only important in
Very
Japan,
niche.
very
Yep.
niche. Could barely get these companies to localize them, and then now look, after 10 years of putting in the hard work, sweat, effort, tears, it blows up here, and PC #1. Just saying.
I'm right there with you, buddy. So, yeah, and it's cool because again, like you're saying, it was a very niche thing. So it bodes well for if you're a fan of a niche franchise. Maybe it'll become pretty popular.
Maybe the next
And
Final Fantasy. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
the cross the worldwide release, I should say, was
Yes,
huge
that's.
for them also.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
not like, hey, we're gonna launch in Japan and let everybody play in Japan, and you guys have to wait, a month to 6 months, whatever.
Yeah, you just can't do that anymore, especially in today's day and age. You have digital distribution, you have digital, like social media is just way more important. And I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, people get bored. I think that's what it is. People get
Hmm.
bored easily where it's like just imagine if you were on Blue Sky or YouTube or whatever. It's like you see Japanese people playing
Yeah,
Monster Hunter, right? And you're like, that game looks cool. Can I play it? And you're like, nope, it's not available. Wait 6, 9 months, a year maybe. Something else is going to be out by then, and you're going to be like, meh.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yep, you want to ride that hype train with
you
everyone
do.
else.
It's a unified marketing strategy, and like
Exactly.
I'm just glad all these game companies figured it out because oh man, I just remember the days of especially like RPGs
Oh,
because they were so
definitely.
text heavy. It would take a year to get localized.
Yeah,
Like
and
I would,
sometimes more.
yeah,
Like it
sometimes
depends
more.
yeah,
And
it's crazy.
imagine it's like if it's a story based game, you're trying to dodge spoilers for like a year. Like good luck. Fuck that.
Well, I mean
No.
that was part of Yakuza too, and their localization has always been top notch. In fact, it's so much like a lot of the humor is really from them, and more than even the source material when we get the translations. So,
Mhm.
but they're
Yeah, I mean that's so important. How you interpret certain jokes and things like that. That's
Oh yeah,
like
the English localization
so.
team for Yakuza is great, and kind of same in that same vein. I'm a big fan of the Ace Attorney series. That blew up in America because of the localization team. Because again, it's you're taking culturally specific jokes that are only funny to Japanese people because they live in Japan. It's like shit. How do we make this
Relate this
funny?
to an
Related to
American
right,
audience. Yeah,
right? It
exactly.
is like even joke. There's been comics about that I love about it where it's like, oh, Apollo time to sit at the traditional tatami mat and eat our Los Angeles breakfast hot dogs, and it's like, but we don't do that here, right? But it's you just got to buy into it, and the localization team has to do what they can when they can. So
yeah.
awesome to
I
see.
still don't know in Yakuza Zero how they pulled off this one sub story where a foreign girl who I think was meant to be Hispanic was looking for a visa, but it sounded like she was saying pizza. So Kiryu, trying to help, went all over Tokyo to try to find where there was a pizza because there's not pizza around there.
Yeah.
He finds it. Turns out it's a visa, but I'm like, wait a minute. All of this was originally written in Japanese. How does any of this make sense? The way it sounds like, I'm like, I don't know how we pulled it off. Nobody did.
So
I
yeah.
can't even it.
Yep.
Well, if you want to play Xbox games on PlayStation, apparently Indiana Jones: The Great Circle is rated for PS5. So that's coming.
Oh, I forgot to send out. I think there's a follow-up tweet. It's confirmed now for next month.
It's confirmed. I mean, when was it not confirmed? It was always happening
When Phil
in
Spencer
my
lied to
heart.
everybody last year.
Yep.
At the Game Awards last year.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I meant
so
this time last year when he was like, "It's just these 4 games that we're talking about today."
yeah, it could
Yeah,
change, but just don't worry, Xbox fans. It's just these four.
Yeah, it's just these 4.
No-
April
For that.
April 17th, I believe, is the date. So
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's great for PS5 players because, Mike, you're saying, and Jim was saying, it's a great game. So, sounds like it's something that it's going to sell pretty well, I would imagine.
Think so.
Unfortunately, there's some bad news. A new first-person shooter game from Apex Legends and Titanfall developer Respawn has been canceled. The game was scrapped before it was even revealed to the public. I mean, that happens all the
That happens
time,
all the time.
right? Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. It's just unfortunate because
If it was a fucking
Titanfall.
Titanfall 3, if it was fucking Titanfall 3, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, sometimes don't tell me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Like, why are you even saying this? Because like, I don't want to know what could have been.
And that's the
We could
thing.
have.
That's absolutely the thing where I feel like if this was Titanfall 3, they didn't want to reveal publicly until they're like, okay, we're definitely releasing this. We're definitely not going to cancel it or whatever because Titanfall 3 or Titanfall 2, while it wasn't like the biggest seller, it has a very passionate audience, and I will stand by that for the end of time. That is one of the greatest first person like single player modes.
And it has such a great relationship that gets built over time through that game that like
Mhm.
I didn't really care at first, and now I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
Blue, you're my boy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we even talk about either surprises or game of the year. Definitely of the
Mhm.
years that game came up for all of us.
Yep.
So it's fantastic, and it's too bad we're not getting more, and they're just gonna start making Star Wars games probably. So we also have something else coming back though, which I don't know how excited we are. But BlizzCon, Blizzard's convention that was hugely popular for a very long time, has been has taken off for a while, and it is finally coming back in 2026.
Who the fuck cares?
It's
Wait,
feels
2026? Not even this year?
no, not this year, 2026. Did you watch the announcement trailer?
No, I don't give a shit anymore. But I was like, I just assumed it was this year because it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like this year. What? That's insane. No way. Keep talking. I'm just bringing it up now because I want to verify. That is crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, so yeah, it feels late. I mean, I would imagine like especially because we talked about how Path of Exile has been doing better than Diablo. Marvel Rivals has been doing better than Overwatch. Like, what does Blizzard have now other than World of Warcraft, which is always going to be successful in its own way? But like, what do you have that people are going to be that excited for? So BlizzCon is something that used to be sold out in like minutes. It was you were like click refresh, get those tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And they were selling online tickets for people that didn't even get a
Yep.
chance to get to go on, and you got all this free stuff, and then they yeah, everyone's got a mobile phone, so you can play on your Diablo there. And since then, it's like been downhill for them. And
Well, I hate that, man. I still hate that interview because I hate the framing of the question because it wasn't in good faith. We don't have to get into it, but like, you're asking a developer a business question, and that's not the person you want to be asking that to.
sure, but I mean, it's still the thing, and
But I mean, the thing is,
unfortunately,
ultimately, Blizzard fell off way before that interview.
yeah, no,
Way
absolutely.
before that interview.
And a lot of things contributed to that outside of the games themselves, unfortunately, and just internal.
But it represents what Blizzard is these days compared to what it was at the old days. And to me, BlizzCon is the thing that represented or encapsulated the best of the old Blizzard when
Mhm.
it was still BlizzCon was going on before the pandemic hit and obviously the convention stopped for a couple of years. So for it to come back now, well, for it to come back next year, which is fucking weird. We're in March. You don't have to announce it that far ahead of time. Like, what am I supposed to get excited about? The next WoW expansion? What, Overwatch
Well,
3? Are you going to announce
that's
Overwatch fucking 3 next year? What, another
Or
Diablo 4 expansion? Like, I don't give a fuck about any of these properties. Another Hearthstone expansion? I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you're not making a StarCraft 3. I know you're fucking not making a StarCraft
You're
3.
not making StarCraft Ghost
Yeah,
either,
you're not making
so
StarCraft Go. So just shut the fuck up. Just you are a different company, and that's fine, right? You're the WoW company now, and that is fine to be. Like that's absolutely fine to be. But don't wrap it up and call it BlizzCon when there's nothing else to it anymore. Like, I'm sorry, like who cares about Overwatch anymore? I don't know a single person that still plays Overwatch.
that's what I'm
try.
saying. Like you have alternate options out there
Yeah,
that are doing way better and seem to be much more interesting to people right now.
yeah.
Mike, you never cared about BlizzCon, I assume.
No, I mean the only game of theirs I ever really engaged with was Overwatch for a little while. But I heard Overwatch had like a beefy update recently too. I feel like this and that has to do with Marvel Rivals eating their lunch.
Oh,
Like they're
100%. I mean, they even announced in addition to this the next Overwatch collab, which is I think a Korean female pop group thing.
K-pop thing.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
just like, wow, you guys are that desperate. Like, you guys are that desperate where it's like, yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy to think because it's like, oh, to work with Overwatch would have been the coolest thing,
yep.
and now it's like, now, do I want to work with
Yeah, do I
Overwatch?
want to work with Overwatch? Like,
It's,
I don't know.
it's like, I would rather collab with Fortnite, guys. Let's get in Fortnite. Fortnite's the way
Yeah,
to go.
and yeah,
Or
absolutely,
so
100%
it's like,
Fortnite.
it feels like if you're doing a collab with, if you're without like in Overwatch, it's just like your second tier at that point.
Right.
So
But it just goes to show, and I even saw an article the other day about, I think the Diablo lead dev or whatever producer was like saying, "Oh, we messed up with Diablo 4's latest expansion. We're gonna make the next one harder." I'm just like,
well, they saw Path of Exile. That's what I was just saying. It's like Path of Exile's beating
right?
out Diablo.
Did you even beat the
Amongst
expansion?
rivals.
The expansion, Corey?
I haven't beaten it yet. No.
You're the only one that I know that was still on the Diablo wagon at all, and
Yeah.
like I think it proves how out of touch they are with their market, and it's
Mhm.
just it's sad. It's depressing, really. And I know we talk about this every time, like I bring it up with BioWare and what I feel to be Rocksteady, where the next Batman game is like it's just not the same people anymore.
Hmm.
It's a name, sure, but that doesn't mean
Doesn't
anything at the
hold
end of the
its
day.
weight. Yeah. Because yeah, exactly. Yeah.
oh yeah,
All
that
right. One
reminds.
final thing to talk about,
It
and
does
that
remind me.
is what's that?
Veilguard is not Game Pass. PlayStation Plus now already. So
Or,
Yeah, that game
y-
bombed. So
maybe when I'm done with all the games I want to play, I might play it.
well, and that's EA, right? So,
mhm.
Yeah.
but yeah, well, I don't know. In any case,
Couldn't pay me
talking
to play that
about
game.
Game Pass. I mean, Xbox is everywhere, and according to another rumor, this one coming from Windows Central, uh, Xbox gonna have a handheld gaming system this year. What?
Pretty crazy.
Uh, that seems like weird. I don't know. We've heard rumors about a handheld before.
This is part of one of my
Uh,
bold predictions, by the way.
yeah, yeah. No, it's
How stupid is that though? Considering we're almost certainly going to get the Switch 2 this year. So
Exactly.
why would
Exactly. Why? Why wouldn't you?
push it out, like rush it? Because we don't even know about it. No one's even clamoring for it, obviously. But if you were to do it on like an off year in the distance and make it like notably better than any other handheld out there, maybe you could get a small market share. But trying to release another handheld, unproven, unasked for this year with Switch 2 on the horizon, then Switch 2 is coming this year. I know that it's been pushed around and there's no official date, but it's coming this year. So,
yeah,
what
absolutely.
are they thinking here?
This
Do they
is
just want
Microsoft's
their
MO though. This is what they do. It's like, hey, an iPod thingy from Apple. Oh, we're gonna make a Zune thing and totally bomb that. Like, what? They're just looking at what other people are doing and it's like, oh, we can do that too, cheaper and faster. And they don't put the effort and time in to make a good product. They just like, well, we'll copy this real thing real quick and throw it out there. And so that's what this feels like to
They
me.
don't
It's
act
like,
like a
oh,
market leader,
no,
right?
no, they're a follower.
They're a follower, and you're the biggest company out of all the gaming ones by far now. Like, there's no dispute about that. after buying Activision Blizzard King. And we're just talking about the gaming segment too. We're not talking obviously all Microsoft because that would have been a non-start conversation completely. But like, who's asking for this, right? Like just Mike said, and like I said, like who cares? Like if you are somebody that wants to play PC games on a handheld, you have a Steam Deck, and if you're anybody else, you have a Switch, right? So I just don't see a market for this. And that actually, I think it's to be a half-assed effort. If anything, I think it's going to be like a rebranded, like what is it? What are those ones that are on the market right now? That's not a Steam
ROG
Deck,
Ally or
like a
something.
like where it's like a ROG Ally that's branded with an X, like it has an Xbox logo on it,
Yeah.
and it
They'll
might
have
have
the
like
Xbox button in the middle or
yeah,
something.
and it will have like bring up the Windows 10 like game store when you press the Xbox button or something like that, where it's
Oh
like
yeah, well that's what exactly this is saying. It's saying Microsoft is going to be working with PC gaming OEMs, think like Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, with an Xbox branded gaming handheld, surprisingly slated for later 2025. Your plans are met. The code name is Keenan. The game handheld will look unmistakably Xbox, we're told, complete with an official Xbox guide button and Xbox design sensibilities. Uh, sure. It's gonna run
Coming.
Windows 11, most likely, and it's like it feels like when BlackBerries were really big, Windows Phone. They had like, oh, we'll do this little Windows Phone with this like mobile thing, and that was terrible. Again, the Zune. It just reminds me of Zune. It's like we're just gonna throw this thing out there and yeah, have new hardware. Like they're killing their own hardware already. Like why are you even doing this? This is what
it,
was that?
we're,
This the Nomad from Sega.
we're
It's
at the point in
like
the
what are you doing?
Xbox cycle where they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like you know, like we talk about the fail Avengers too. Like what happened to the dongle, right?
Hmm.
That was rumored all of last year. Remember when Phil Spencer even had like something on his desk when he was doing a picture or a video or whatever like that? People were like, "Oh, this is the Xbox USB dongle or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be, right? Thing that plugged into your TV and stuff like that." They are just trying desperately to improve their market share outside of the console traditional business, which I get. Don't get me wrong, I get it, right? Because everybody is doing that. But this just feels so misguided and feels like such an obvious like nobody wants this, and we can all call that this is going to fail hard, like
Hmm.
extremely hard. And again, it's just
What's
going to
unique
diminish the
about it,
brand.
right?
It's going to diminish the brand. Like not
Yeah.
like I feel like it could really get much worse, but now this just poisons the well for if they actually do ever want to do a dedicated X boy, we'll call it right, where it's like you know, where it's like, hey guys, like legit Xbox Switch, like that's what it is. It can undock, it can dock, blah blah blah. But all the people are gonna remember is this fucking piece of shit that's gonna come out, get middling reviews at best, be overpriced, launch right in the shadow of Switch
No,
2,
no battery
and
life. It's gonna
no battery
overheat.
life. Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna be like there's no quality control. The brand just doesn't mean anything. Like when people are like, "Oh, this is an Xbox. Is this an Xbox? I don't know." Well, there's an Xbox button on it. Cool, man. Fucking cool.
Hmm. No, it feels like it's cheap already, and it's not even out yet because we don't know
We
anything
haven't
about it.
seen
It's
it.
just
We
like
haven't
it's
even
cheap.
seen anything about it, and it already feels cheap because that's what it is. It's an imitation.
Yeah. And when you have the Switch, like Mike, you said, you have the Switch 2 coming. You already have a PC handheld in the Steam Deck, which is doing amazing and has a huge library of things. What is this gonna be that's unique? That's different because you're already throwing all your games on everything else. So it's not like, hey, you're gonna be able to play all your Xbox One games on here that you couldn't play somewhere else. No, that's not the case. You can play them anywhere else you want. So I don't know. Would this is not anything any of us are interested in, I assume,
No,
Mike?
God no.
No.
I mean, if Steam Deck's not pulling you in, Xbox handheld's not pulling you in. There's no way. It's gonna be more limited. I don't see like the benefits here. Again, I think this is just gonna be something that's like you're saying, overpriced. It's gonna have no battery life. It's gonna have zero quality control. Probably overheat and have some like those three red rings of death constantly. That's my guess.
I just don't get like fuck Phil Spencer, man. Like
And they had it all. I mean,
they had it
before
all.
PS4, the Xbox 360, they were on top of the world.
Yeah.
They could have done whatever they wanted and decided to just shoot themselves in the foot. All right, guys, that's our game cast.
And then on a sour
We
note,
sometimes you just gotta
yeah,
end on the
you
truth.
do, you do.
I
Unfortunately,
mean,
hey,
that's how
we
it
don't
is.
sugarcoat the truth.
Yep. No, and it's Microsoft's world and they're destroying it. So yep. So that's Gamecast. Catch us live on Twitch every Tuesday evenings, starting around 8 for Movie Cast and followed up by the Gamecast. We are on YouTube the day after and on your podcast feeds, wherever you may get those. So check us out, send us a note, subscribe, like, all the good stuff. And we'll see you next week. Bye.